So you probably have 3 or 4 roommates, and having bacon in the fridge is all of a sudden a very hot commodity. So you really want to make sure you can trust your roommates, otherwise that bacon will go quicker than you might think. This is still a very, very hot pan, and I need to deal with all of that grease. Now, the only, I guess, real advice is don't put this down your sink because it actually clogs. It gets cold and then forms a solid. It'll clog your sink. So you're actually supposed to do this in the trash can. You're supposed to wait for it to cool off. I don't have that luxury, so I grab oven mitts and I do the very dangerous game of let's pour the bacon fat down the garbage can. This is very, very dangerous, very, very messy. You can almost hear the plastic melting from hot bacon. So there's probably some toxic gases in the air now. Probably. But I don't have the luxury of doing anything else. Cool. So imagine it's the next morning. You stayed up way later the night before than you thought you were. You have 10 minutes before you have to go to work and you're starving. You don't want to have another Rockstar coffee for breakfast. So here's the quick breakfast that I used to make myself most mornings when I was in a pinch, when I had bacon available. We start with 2 potatoes. Where did I put my potatoes? Right here. Potatoes. So I'm making 2 because Ivan's having 1, I'm having the other. Normally just make 1 potato. Second ingredient is eggs. Again, if you remember my last video, you should have potatoes in abundance. You should have eggs in abundance. We only eat about 4 things, and we eat a lot of them. I'm thinking about 2 eggs each should be about right. And just because I am quite the fancy chef, we're gonna have some cheese on this as well. My very manly hands have only gotten more manly with my scooter tan. I drive a scooter every day with gloves on, so that is the manliest tan you will ever see, because I risk my life on a scooter every day. My knife. So I'm going to slice these up, actually decently thin. The reason we're slicing these thin is these aren't going in a pot. These are going in the microwave. And today I'm cooking for 2, so I have to get a nice big plate, but normally one smaller plate's fine. You want to take your little potato shards and evenly place them around the pot. Otherwise, you'll have to microwave this twice and your eggs will get cold. But just a few minutes, well, 1 potato, you're looking at about 6 minutes in the microwave. This much potato, probably 8 minutes in the microwave, depending. But this is your biggest time investment right here. The fact you have to wait for your potatoes to cook. I'm sure a lot of my viewing audience is actually used to buying things in little plastic baggies like this. But this is a dime bag of bacon right here. So here's my block of cheese. And at this point in time, I have cleaned my knife. Since this is a food that's not going to reach proper cooking temperature after I cut it, I have a clean knife. Just right through the packaging. Now, I only use so much cheese per week. So the reason I cut it in half is half of this cheese block is going in a little baggie. It's going in the freezer. I'm going to wait until I'm done with this cheese to pull that out of the freezer, because the last thing you want is moldy cheese. So now I want to grab my potatoes, which takes just a second. And I'm going to add some cheese to the top of my potatoes. And lastly, when you're cooking for yourself, you cut yourself a slice. Because that's what we do. Back in for a minute. And we're going. Our remainder cheese can go in the fridge because I'll be able to use this over the next week or so. The funny thing is, for our sack of bacon, I would actually also use this little regular sandwich sack that doesn't have a seal. I'm not actually really worried about it becoming bad because I'm going to eat this, or anyone would eat bacon within 2 or 3 days. You don't have to worry about it spoiling because you're eating it consistently. I actually still need this. So I have my bacon, I have my potatoes, I have my cheese, I have hot sauce in the fridge, which is actually what we're making. It's a little dish I make. I'm not sure if you've ever had it. It's potatoes, cheese, eggs, hot sauce, in this case, bacon. So we just need to cook our eggs, which we'll do right now. Eggs, simple enough. Oh, I actually got some shell in there. Oops. Had some shell. Took care of that. I guess you really shouldn't drink and cook, but whatever. Cooking our eggs on this same pan are gonna add a little bit of a bacon flavor to our eggs, which really can't hurt. And with eggs, you're basically just making sure they don't like stick. You just move them around and they're cooked. So our gelatinous mass is already almost finished. That's halfway to being scrambled eggs right there. That's it. This pan's hot enough that these are now cooked eggs. I'm just gonna let the pan kind of chill and finish cooking the eggs. I'm gonna bring them all together. In cooking, it's always proper to just chop things. If you're in doubt, just start chopping. You'll feel proper about it. There are eggs right on top. Now remember, as I said before, this isn't about presentation. This is about to be eaten, not savored. Oh, I guess savored, but not like, just don't worry about it.